この時代の魔法使いならそれだけで十分だと。
Yo! Damn! Nobody casts faster than Frieren, baby. Let's go! Effective leadership style, because respect is not always garnered and earned by dominance and fear. There's other more ethical, ethics-led, morally led leadership style, which I think that's what Frieren represents. Hello friends, my name is Benoit Kim, a psychotherapist and educator. In today's video, I talk about how episode 19 strips away grand battles and focuses instead on psychological warfare, strategic subtlety, and the quiet resilience that defines Frieren. The episode offers a reflective mirror on how wisdom, restraint, and leadership must be adaptive, which requires a less is more approach. This video is sponsored by Assassination Zero, our new sponsor tier. Shout out to the best patron family. And let's tune in to the second episode of the first Mage exam tournament.
これより一級魔法使い選抜試験を行う。
Okay, we continue. Let's go.
パーティー戦だ。総勢57名。3人1組のパーティーに分かれ試験を受けてもらう。
Well-laid plans is the title of this episode. And my prediction is that I think Frieren's observation first, methodical planning and approach to catching the steelbird will come to fruition in this episode. Bonfire, a lot of bonfires in the episode, just like with Zine in episode 17.
ラビーネは乱暴だけれども、ちゃんと私を引っ張ってくれるんだ。
That's a callback to Frieren getting to know her new team better through observing their personality types, their constant bickering and fighting, but also surprisingly, their extremely cohesive, almost seemingly perfect team chemistry. And we saw that Lawin might be tough, who I called her the silver hair because I couldn't quite remember their names last episode, but I will try my best in this episode. So we learned that from Kane, Lawin is seemingly rough on the exterior, almost like a hedgehog. They're rough on the outside, but very soft and gentle on the inside.
せーな、それだと効率悪いだろうが。
And that's what Lawin is. She's rough, she's constantly bickering, she's seemingly harsh and direct, but she cares deeply. And Lawin is the one that helped boost Kane's self-esteem, her moral, and actually helped her to pass her flying exam. However years ago. So that's a great flashback. And I think the point of that flashback is for Frieren, her data collection. She's gathering information and using her defensive mechanism like I talked about in episode 18 to see, can I trust my teammates? How are they behaving under pressure? Because as I talked about in the last episode yet again, pressure, artificial or not, reveals true character. And I think in this bonfire, which symbolizes warmth, in this case, Frieren is deep in thought about the information she's gathered, and I think the increased trust she now feels with her new teammates of Kane and Lawin. Oh, immediate flashback to Aizen and Himo the hero. Aizen the warrior was the same as Stark. Same village, same air quote cowardness, even though that's a sign of true courage and light of fear. Copy other adventures or other heroes. Just be yourself. Great words. Heights the Bishop was very wise. Every flashback reveals something new to the viewers. And of course, aside from the default must-have Himo the hero flashback every episode, right? Himo the hero says something very genuine. I tried to inspire you like the other adventurers party, but it seems like it didn't work. But in reality, it did work. Because Aizen the warrior said, because of you, I feel more at ease. But the deeper psychological concept and I guess theme of that is the realness of Himo the hero. Going back to the previous episode of the true hero, Himo the hero is, as we know, very close to Jesus Christ 2.0. He's the personification of the seemingly perfect humanity. He's very real. He's extremely caring. He's compassionate. He's charismatic. But Himo the hero really shines here, like what Heizer the bishop said. Just be yourself. And every party is different, and every leadership style is also different. So we saw Himo's very genuine, approachable, humanistic leadership style. I think that's a foreshadowing in my mind and predicts Frieren's different and maybe borrowed and inspired leadership style that I think will prove to be very, very effective in this episode, that ultimately enables the current party with Frieren, Kane, and Lawin to successfully capture the steel bird. That's my prediction.
なるほど。確かに仲間ごとに違うみたいだ。
She's inspired and borrowing from the wisdom of the past.
やっと捕まえられましたね。シティレ。
They already call
こ
one.
れで一安心ですね。
Wow. OP, dude.
これから先の方が大変なんだよ。
Defending their bird.
僕らはシュティレを他のパーティーに奪われないように守らなければならない。
対人戦の時間だ。
Dude, WIRBEL is hella bloodthirsty, huh? She just want to wreck other people up. Like slicing up those bandits.
まずはフリーレンの言った通り、あの鳥は音速を超えて人を
That's crazy. Faster than the speed of sound? That is nuts.
波の攻撃魔法じゃびくともしないし、高速も破られる。
They're reflecting and reviewing the intel and the information they collected from their failed attempts.
おかげで今どこにいるのかさっぱりわからねえ。総数も不明だ。見つけら
They
れた
don't know
の
how
も
many are in
結
the
局
dome
昨日の
area.
午前中の3回だけだしね。受験者が探し回っているから警戒し
Flutter
ちゃってる
kicks,
んだ
the
と
same thing that Frieren does.
最悪、もう姿を現す。
This is a group of 3 children.
実は昨日の夜シュティレを捕らえるのに役に立つかもしれない
Wow.
実験をしていたんだよね。
A quiet
確
leader.
かに出かけてたね。どんな魔法なの？
カンネにはもう見せたよ。鳥を捕まえる魔法。今よりもずっと魔法使いが多くて魔法が一般的だった時代に
One of the
狩猟を
legendary
生業と
spells.
する一族が編み出した民間魔法だよ。
Quick pause. I just had a flash of insights. Frieren does not try to dominate conversation. She does not try to steal whatever conversations based on her dominance. Based on last episode, 18, we know that Lawin and Kane already deeply respect and revere Frieren's overpowering OP nature of magic capacity and mana. Because they said, we wouldn't mess with you. That's why they listened to her. Even though last episode, they went against Frieren's advice by still going with the trials by fire anyway. We see that here, Frieren is letting Lawin and Kane have a discourse, having a productive discussions about their thoughts, the intel they collected, and brainstorming to see what they come up with it. She doesn't interject. She doesn't say, no, you're wrong. No, that's inferior. No, that's suboptimal. But rather, she lets the two members as a team leader, de facto, talk it out. And then when it matters in the pivotal moment, she says, don't worry about that. I invented a spell last night that will hopefully help us capture this steel bird. It's a very quiet, non-dominant, but effective leadership style because respect is not always garnered and earned by dominance and fear. There's other more ethical, ethics-led, morally led leadership style, which I think that's what Frieren represents, inspired by Himo the hero.
魔法で動きを封じていたね。でもあれは鳥じゃなくて魔物じゃ。
民間魔法だからね。
Folk
大
magic.
雑把に鳥みたいなやつは全部捕らえられるみたい。
Interesting. That's the mechanism, like the scientific approach in the magic system in this show.
それを黙っていたんだよ。それを使えば昨日の時点で捕まえられていたじゃない。
She's letting you guys try it
そう
out.
もいかないんだよね。
Oh.
この魔法の射程は50センチ。そこまでは近づかないとダメなんだ。
50 centimeters?
今までどのくらいまで近づけたか。
Americans like, oh my gosh, centimeters. We don't know how to use that system.
しかも
What is it in
20メートルくらい
inches?
近づいた時点で現状あと一歩ってところだね。
They have to be very in close proximity. Okay.
二人の魔法じゃシュティレの足止めは難しいんだよね。
うまく凍らせられれば可能だろうが、魔力に敏感な上に
Now they're
頑丈で
brainstorming
凍りに
with
くい。
Frieren's
多
input
分
and
動きを封じ
insights.
る前に逃げられちまう
True
だろう
team
が。
collaboration.
私の魔法なら足止めは簡単だと思うけど、
Bro, you're by a lake in the last episode. Still didn't work.
やるのは水を操る魔法で、水自体を生成することはできないんだよね。だから水のある場所じゃないと使えないし、まとまっ
Restraints
た
and
水は魔力が
limitations
通
of
りに
magic.
くいから、事前に魔力を込めておかない。雨みたいに分散していれば大量の水でもすぐに操れるんだけど、
Interesting.
魔力に敏感なシュティレは絶対に寄ってこないだろうね。そうか、寄ってこないのか。
Oh, they're gonna use repellent.
この作戦ならいけ。
They're gonna use water to repel birds away from the large body of water, and Frieren's magic's gonna capture it. Another prediction. They're quietly deliberating their plan, their master plan. Will they
確か
succeed?
に悪くはね
Of
えが、
course.
リス他のパーティー全員に喧嘩を売ることになるぜ。
でも多分こうでもしないと捕まえ
Interesting.
ら
They're
れない。
gonna draw birds away from water,
怖
which
い
might
の？
interfere with
ロ
other
ビヌ。
teams. So Kane is the instigator, huh?
わかったよ。
Another quick pause. So, something pretty interesting I just noticed. Part of me was thinking that what is the true intention of this mage tournament? Of course, it's like more shonen type, more actions packed, which is something I've been looking forward to since, as we know, we have absolute cinema level build up with 5-second fight scenes with the climax. So it's a different pace in Frieren versus other shonen type anime because Frieren is not a shonen anime, right? But throughout this mage tournaments, I was thinking, I wonder what is the true intention of the authors. I just gathered one of them. Of course, I could be wrong. But my thoughts are that we just had a few minutes scene of Kane, Lawin, and Frieren describing the type of magic, their intention of using it, but also here's a key point, limitations of their magic. For Frieren, she was like, actually, we couldn't have captured the bird yesterday because we were too far away. The limitations and the restraints with the mechanism of the bird capturing magic is within 50 centimeters. So there's limitations, just like the scientific approach in real world. Every good peer-reviewed academic and scientific journal must include limitations part. What is the limitations of the study? What about the size, effective size? What about the variables they did not consider? And so on. So if you come across any articles that does not have any limitations on their peer review article, skip and discard. It's not highly credible and it is not scientific whatsoever. So that's what Frieren denoted there. The limitation is 50 centimeters. And then Kane said the same thing. She was like, my magic is to control water, but I have to have water first. Without water, there's nothing I can do. That's another limitations. The mechanism of her powerful water control magic is predicated on the presence of water. It's seemingly straightforward, but I think that dialogue in my mind that highlights the importance, mechanical nature, and the mechanisms of magic, its usage, its intention, but also its limitations, because it does parallels with our scientific approach in our modern context. Very good.
とりあえず試験終了まで潜伏してやり過ごそう。
Fourth party,
つまんないよ。魔法使い
WIRBEL,
なら
who
堂々
killed
と
the
戦わない
first
と。
class
不
mage.
要な戦いを避けるのも魔法使いだ。あとは日没まで潜伏すれば第一次
I wonder what their strategy was catching the bird.
どうした？
It means 3
どうやら
OP
そう
team
うま
members.
くはいかないみたいだ。
Oh, other team
これって
members.
さ、道だと思っていたけれども、試験区域を囲むように結界が張られているんですよね。
塵すら通さない強力な対物理結界だよ。
もしかして水も通さないんですか？
枯れ具合から見て結界を張ったのは1週間以上前だね。
Oh, wow, barrier dries out the water.
水
It
のほとん
blocks
どは
everything.
盆地の真ん中にある湖に集まっていますね。私たち受験者も生き物ですから。
だからって湖の周りに受験者がまとまっているとは限らないでしょ。
私たちは水を持ち歩けます。同じ生き物であるシテレは そうはいかない。
Interesting.
連中が
They're gonna
最大
camp
の
out by
水場である
water.
湖
Yep.
の周りに張り込んでいる
We're
わ
about to see campers.
よし決めたもう水は諦めなさい
ってすでに喉カラカラなんだけど。
小さな池くらいなら探せばあるだろう
I'm sure Lance is the team leader. Oh, another party.
煮沸すればなんとか。
Oh. Damn. Nobody casts faster than Fern, baby. Let's go. WIRBEL is thriving. She's like, yes, finally. Oh, goosebumps. This group's about to get annihilated by Lance, Ubera, and Fern's group. They don't know who they're up against.
面倒くせえな殺すつもりで撃ったんだぜ今のに反応できんの
Hella fast, of course. You don't know who Fern is.
シュティレの入ったカゴを置いていけ
嫌だって言ったら。
なら言葉は不要だな
Oh. First mage conflict we've seen in the series so far. Lightning magic.
湖の方向。
They're freezing the entire lake. Damn, Lawin's OP too, dude. Goosebumps. Wow. Ice skating would be nice right now. It'd be very romantic. Anyone likes ice skating in the audience?
何考えてやがる他のパーティー全員を敵に回すつもりか
Oh, she. Oh.
電源どうする
Quick pause. Dude, I just got another goosebumps. I could be wrong, but here's another prediction. My caffeine's working really well today. I think their plan is to freeze the entire lake, which is what they did, which seemingly antagonized all the other parties. So everyone else is gonna use their mana and spells to try to melt the lake, because lake is the only source of water which represents life for both birds and humans and the parties in this setting. What does that mean? It's gonna create a lot of mana particles and tremendous presence of mana, which is gonna freak out the steel birds. So steel birds are gonna gravitate against. They're gonna fly against and leave from the area of the lake where all the actions and mana and magic are happening. So I think Frieren and them are going to pick a location, predict the departures and the flight of birds by using their capture magic. So that's my prediction for their actual plan. Second thing I want to highlight psychologically is the zero-sum cost of war and psychological warfare. We see that for the fourth party, which is Fern, WIRBEL, and Lance, they were sneak attacked by the other group. I forgot what group they were, but the leader of that group who said that my intention was to kill looks like a character from Fairy Tail, another anime I used to love a long time ago. That talks about Albert Bandura's moral disengagement theory. Definition right here. Albert Bandura is a famed Canadian psychologist, and he made pivotal contributions for the social learning theory and moral disengagement theory. So moral disengagement is a theory that states that we humans will use cognitive overriding to override and rationalize amoral decisions by justifying our actions for the sake of our, air quotes, distorted or even delusional moral arguments. Again, moral disengagement is when we disengage from moral compass to justify and rationalize our actions for the sake of our ideals. Moral disengagement explains many extremist radicalizations of individuals like Hitler, Stalin, Mao Zedong, and a bunch of other dictators who will morally disengage by using extreme actions to justify their ideals. So that's moral disengagement. In high pressure settings, such as zero sum competition like this, in this mage tournament, it's zero sum. Well, it's an economic term, definition right here. Zero sum means that zero sum. There's only one winner and everyone loses. So obviously here, whoever catches the steel bird and keeps it until the end will advance to the next, I'm guessing, tournaments. But whoever loses the birds get disqualified, period. It's very cutthroat and zero sum. So because of the zero sum setting, parties such as the fairy tale looking like character who wanted to sneak attack and steal the hard labor and the hard fruits of other people's labor. And that's moral disengagement. That with high pressure setting, people will engage in amoral, unethical behaviors for the sake of their means. In other words, utilitarian ethics and utilitarian approach, the ends justify the means, can be seen and more pronounced in high pressure setting. So that's a very, very poignant scene, not just the action scenes, but it really talks about human psychology. When the stake is high, are we going to do whatever it takes for the sake of our goals? Or rather, will we abide by morals and ethics and do the right thing? Because I personally do not think that the ends always justify the means. Because our moral compass and ethics and sacredness of humanity cannot always be quantified by metrics. What do you guys think? Another utilitarian approach? But they don't know who they're up against. You're trying to steal a bird from Frieren? Good luck. Dunkin' Donuts? Ooh. Yeah, complete waste of effort, bro. Because of mana presence. Yep.
それに気がついた連中が魔力探知が甘すぎる。あれでは空の脅威に対処できん。
I like Duncan's analysis for everyone.
違うな。これは第二パーティーが練った入念な計画だ。
Damn, Duncan, you're fighting my role, dude.
限りどう
Don't take away my commentary analysis, bro. Duncan also seems very cutthroat from his analysis and his utilitarian plan of stealing a bird from the second party. But bro, don't be stealing my job now. Come on, man. A psychotherapist reacts, not Duncan reacts. We see that there's already casualties, okay.
もう死んでいる。
Damn. Blood?
せめて下ろしてあげようよ。
上空を旋回している。
Oh, they're killed by monsters.
死体には魔法がかけられている。下ろそうとすれば奴らに探知されるぞ。ガイズ。
異常だね。こんな魔物がいる場所を試験区域に選ぶだなんて。受験者
High pressure environments.
理由は極めて単純だ。
Survival of
こ
the
の程
fittest.
度で死ぬ奴は一級魔法使いにはいらない。
Darwinism, I guess.
時代遅れも甚だしい。
意外だな、デンケン。あんたはそれを支持する側の人間だと思っていた。
Why?
魔法使いに質などいらん。ただ単に権威の象徴であればいいのだ。魔
That
法
seems
使
very
いとしての
outdated.
力量がいくらあっても
Interesting.
人心を掌握できなければ無力も同じ。
Oh, he's talking about
わしは
political
自分
power.
よりはるかに
Interesting.
優れた魔法使いが大きな
Interesting.
力は恐れられる。恐れの権威など長続きせん。魔法は誇り高いものでも
Dude, Duncan is very wise.
なる
Wow.
ほど。あんたくらい弱いのがちょうどいいってわけだ。
Oof.
言ってくれるな、若造が。お前くらいなら目をつむっていても勝てる。
Feisty words. Oh, he found the second party. What's Duncan's position in real life? Is he part of like an imperial palace mage? He sounds like someone that's high in power.
全然探知できないね。第二パーティー。
魔力を隠して潜伏しているな。
Concealing their mana. Technique taught by Frieren.
わずかだが水に魔力が込められている。
何も感じない。わかる。
Kane is
俺
imbuing
もわからん。
bodies of water
第
with
二パーティー
mana.
の仕業か。
だが、シュティレなら感知できる。この水場にはもう近づかないだ。
They keep doing
こ
more
んなことし
traps.
て何が。
Trying to
そっか。
push steel birds away towards one specific location.
その近くに第二パーティー
Called
は
it.
必ずいる。待つぞ。どうせ奴らは居場所を教えてくれる。
Quick pause. So, of course, I made a lot of light commentary about Duncan for trying to steal my job as a commentator for this anime. But on a serious note, Duncan utilizes the same methodical approach as Frieren. So far, Duncan's the only leader who mirrors Frieren's observation first, methodical approach that I highlighted throughout. Everyone else in his teams wants to go find them. They're thinking about what's the plan. Every other parties were trying to melt the lake, which is a futile effort, like Duncan said. And some people are flying above the sky. Some people got killed by the monsters. So far, Frieren is observation first. Less is more approach that I talked about in the introduction. And Duncan is the only other party's leader. As the leader of the other party, is saying, let's wait and find out. He was able to deduce the plan since the get-go with that very detailed analysis he gave all of us. And now, after realizing there's other bodies of water scattered throughout with very faint mana presence that will deter the birds regardless. And nevertheless, he's like, let's wait it out. He knows where the party is heading, but he doesn't want to waste any futile effort in doing so because the testing area is huge, and he is right. So I just want to highlight that both of them, Frieren and Duncan, represents experiential wisdom, highly attuned combat intelligence, and observational first, less is more leadership style. And I could foresee stand down, that's a word, right? A stand down between Frieren's party and Duncan's party. I don't know in this episode or the next episode, but we shall see. Oh, they left one body of water where there's no mana. Damn, a lot of running.
シュティレの使える水場が制限されるだけでも十分だよ。じゃあ私はここでシュティレを待ち伏せするよ。
Wow. Gonna restrict more mana? Wow.
マジかよ。魔力って完全に消せるもんなんだな。完全じゃないよ。さすがに動けば少しは魔力が漏れる。
わかんねえよ。私たちは見張りだな。
Wow.
足引っ張んなよ。
Yeah, right. This is a very interesting scene of we're seeing Frieren just sitting down, of course, to maintain the complete suppression of mana, because as she highlighted, the limitations, which is the mechanism I talked in depthly about earlier of every magic system so far in the series, when she moves, there is mana presence leaks. So the only way for her to completely suppress and conceal her mana presence is stillness. And I think that's the metaphor for Steelbird in this episode. I think Steelbird literally means stillness. To capture Steelbird, which ironically can break the sound barrier by topping the speed of sounds, which is very fast. So in this case, to deal with the fast and capture the fast, you have to be still and slow and conceal your mana by being detached from the goals. Ironically, by detaching from the goals, you can achieve this inner peace, this tranquility state through meditation, through mindfulness, through meditative act. So that's why we're seeing Frieren here seemingly meditating by being completely still in action to conceal her mana for the ultimate goal of capturing this steel bird. So this is another quiet but effective leadership style of Frieren, but also the importance of inner peace. And the last thing I'll say is a neurological concept called executive functioning. Definition right here. Executive functioning is a higher motor control skills that we humans have that can do planning, that controls our impulses, our emotions, and our thoughts. Part of that executive functioning, there is a concept called inhibitory control. Inhibitory control, inhibitions, is our desires and impulses and our reactions. Alcohols and other substances lowers our inhibition control. And in this case, we're seeing that to succeed by capturing such a fast bird like Steel Bird, we have to rely on our executive functioning by controlling our inhibitions. In controlling our impulses, controlling our knee-jerk reactions by observation first, by not reacting, but rather responding optimally to the problem at hand. So Frieren is perfectly demonstrating what it looks like when we can maximize our executive functioning by controlling our inhibitions for the sake of optimal outcome. Beautiful demonstration. While other monsters are coming too. Frieren is so still that not even monsters can detect her mana presence. She's like a rock, a solid rock. Dude, this is so impressive. Her mana suppression control. Flame, the legendary mage, must be so proud. What a leader, dude. Respect. This is amazing. It's as if Frieren has turned into a statue herself. Goosebumps. Wow. The freaking bird landed on her shoulder, bro. That mana suppression and control and regulation is amazing. Nope. That Duncan's party's gonna come. Yep. Called it. Oh, I'm looking forward to this showdown. Oh! Damn, she's fast. What is it, martial arts magic or something? Oh, next episode's gonna be amazing. Oh, flowers. Oh. Wow. Precision, baby. Surgical precision. Taught by Frieren. Ooh. 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 It's taught by Frieren. Very accurate. That's all she needs, baby. Oh, refinement, surgical precision. Less is more. Ooh. Yo. Easy, dude. She's conserving mana like crazy. Oh yeah. No, she won't. Doubt it. Yep. Ooh. For her nose. What's WIRBEL's magic? So? My master Frieren is the one that defeated the Demon King. What's your point, bro? Come on, Fern comes from the lineage of the OG original Underhands. Come on, bro. I noticed that this is I guess it's interesting that the most of this episode was about the mage tournaments, and then the last 10 minutes or so was about Fern. I think that is to show the audience, at least from my perspective, is that Frieren is actually not the only main character of the series. Fern, as this apprentice mage, continuing to ascend to the top because she's a prodigy, which was announced by one of the facilitators of the mage tournaments in the last episode. So Fern is a known prodigy, the youngest mage that acquired the third mage or third class mage certification. Second, of course, she's a lineage of prodigies. Flame, the legendary mage, Frieren, the slayer, and now Fern. I don't know what her title is gonna be. Fern, the lover's quarrel. Fern, the girlfriends to Stark. But on a serious note, I think this mage tournament, like I said earlier, the intention of this mage tournament is also to spotlight the tremendous, not just emotional developments, but also mage developments and other character and personal developments of other characters. In this case, not just Frieren, because she's already fully beyond developed, but Fern. So I'm very excited to see Fern getting more spotlights with her growth and her evolution with this stellar, exceptional mage that other people have no idea about. Because everything that the girl was saying to Fern, it's like you're saying that to the wrong person. You're preaching that to the choir, bro. Because Fern embodies everything that the Ryber, is that his name? The one who is attacking the other group. Everything he embodies and more. Because again, she's from the legendary lineage of Flame, the legendary mage, and Frieren, the slayer. And as many people requested, I'll be analyzing the lyrics and the new introduction or opening scene for the second part of Frieren, since people say it's different. So here we go. It's immediately more colorful, right? Which symbolizes the transformation of Frieren, who was untapped and unlocked her new emotional transformation and her new emotional state compared to the colorlessness that we saw in the first half of the series with how the opening scene kicked off. Also, I noticed in this pause scenes the butterflies. As many viewers pointed out, butterfly represents Fern, which has become an integral part of the new adventure party, and of course, a surrogate daughter and endeared, cherished mentee to Frieren. And of course, in many archetypical storytelling types, butterfly symbolizes transformation, renewal, healing, transforming from a caterpillar to a butterfly, a beautiful creature. So it's amazing that we see butterflies and flowers right next to Frieren, where she's sitting down on this flower field. You're there like the winds, closing your eyes at sunset. I wonder what's on your minds. I think this is a callback and ongoing reference to Frieren's lack of emotional attunement and the regrets that either linger or resolved for Frieren to continue to confront and deal with and manage. Because a lot of the importance of the Himo's hero and Himo's party or hero's party did not quite click. It's not that Frieren didn't care. She just couldn't really make the connections and appreciate the importance and magnitude of the many lessons that were bestowed and shared by Himo the hero, and many of the intricacies of human emotionality, which is the human experience and the human condition. But of course, Frieren, she's not a human. She's an immortal elf. So I think closing your eyes and I'm wondering what you're thinking is a reference to that. But now, of course, as we have seen together as audiences, Frieren has come a tremendous way, an ongoing journey beyond journey's end. With your eyelids open, your eyes shone like glass. That glass is interesting because glass is a reflective mirror state. A lot of glasses are translucent. You can see through it. But I think in this case, because of the countless emphasis on Frieren and other characters like Fern, their emotional attunement, their attachment, growth, and just growth in general in life, I think glass is a double meaning of it can be a reflective service. We get to see ourselves and each other's by walking this journey of life together. Smell like a sunny day, because after the rain, after stormy season, always comes the sun. A lot of new characters. Whoa. Another elf? Who was that? Clear up the sky, let flowers bloom. Bloom and blaming on the sunny sky. Even the rain, when it stops, will make you shine in the sunlight. Exactly. Just like in life, we don't get to control sufferings in life, as suffering is the first noble truth of Buddhism, and stress is part of life. Only people who live a life and existence of stress-freeness and a complete life absent of stress and suffering are people who are dead. Only dead people are perfect, and only dead people do not make mistakes, and only dead people have no suffering. But at the same time, after suffering comes growth. After the rain comes rainbow and the sunlight. So the lyrics are talking about exactly just that. It's a very mental health theme heavy music. I see why so many people wanted me to analyze the lyrics. Oh, this is the elf character. Who is that? He or she looks very wise. Sunny winds. Himo the hero. Aizen the warrior. Hatcher the bishop. Wow. Very, very vibrant, colorful opening scene. Madhouse went crazy. Can't wait to analyze closing scenes at the end. And now we'll close out today's video with analyzing the outro scene. Oh, very sick animation, very different. I hear you, I care about you. Quick pause. Is that the gravestone of Flame the legendary mage or Himo the hero? This hill and the setting kind of looks like the parting scene of Frieren and Flame the legendary mage, which is a callback from many episodes ago. So I'm surmising that this might be the Flame's gravestone. But very, very interesting anime style so far. The wind teases the hair that's longer now. There's meaning in everything. We humans are meaning-making beings. What separates humans from every other mammals, aside from our executive functioning, neocortex, and so on, is our ability to make meaning from nothingness. We have the power of storytelling. We create narratives that serves us and other people, that describes about the world we live in and our roles and our interplays with the world. So our abilities to make meanings out of nothing, and meanings derives purpose. So there is meaning in everything, and that's a very deep lyric. Even the days they came to halt, the ribbon flying. Now that I finally understand, I've caught up to you. I think the lyric is about Frieren's ongoing emotional transformation, emotional growth, and clicking all the lessons she's learned from her 10-year journey from Himo the hero and the hero's party, Aizen the warrior, Heizer the bishop. And now that Frieren has finally understood the significance of many gestures, many meaningful moments were not as meaningful to her, not because she didn't care, but she just didn't get it. But now she does. Oh, sick animation style, dude. This is crazy. Madhouse went crazy. That's the hair bracelet of Fern. Many viewers pointed out that, again, it's butterfly. As I talked about the intro scene, butterfly represents transformation from caterpillar to a butterfly. And I think anything that's any jewelry and anything butterfly in the series represents Fern, her transformation, and the power of renewal and transformational healing throughout the constant theme of the show. What does this ribbon represent though? So, yep, butterfly literally transforming. The flowers, right? Himo the hero. And Flame the legendary mage, because she loves flowers. Remember the past just for today. Another significant lyric. The past is important. There can be no present without the past, and there can be no future without the present. So who we are comprises of everything there is about us. But just for today, let's not get too stuck in the past. Let's honor the past. Let's cherish the past. But let's not let past define who we are becoming and who we are today. Deep. If we were to meet again, Frieren and Himo the hero in heaven, without dying, hopefully, no more hesitations, I'll choose the present. Presence is the gifts that keeps on giving. Dude, what is that? Is that a heart sideways? Dude, what is this complex, sick animation? Wow, what was that? Even though there is no absolute, life is not absolute. That's why black and white thinking, definition right here, or all or nothing thinking, A or B, this or that, is literally part of cognitive distortions. It's a distorted thought. It's a distorted, unhealthy worldview. Life is often in the gray. Life is not black and white. Not everything it can be seen through binary view, and not everything can be cut through the half. Life is in the gray, and nuances matter because humans are multifaceted and life is ever complex. So there is no absolute. Absolutely right, pun intended. Another transformation. Who is that? Who's that person Frieren is reaching out to? Come back home. Come back home, obviously yearning for Himo the hero and so on. But it's interesting that yearning, I'm whispering to a lullaby for you to come back home. It might be hinting at Himo the hero, but the ending scene is actually Frieren sleeping on the lap or laying on the lap of Fern. I think it's Fern coming back home through her attachment growth, going from avoidance and anxious attachments to secure by Frieren stepping up as her caregiver, as her surrogate mother, as her mentor, as this constant, secure, and safe attachment for Fern. So Fern is coming home emotionally to and with Frieren, despite being an orphan of war. Coming back home. Wow. What else have you seen? I'll take your head off. I love these teaser. Interesting. Try me. You old
必要な
fart.
殺しは全部やってきたぜ。
I've always killed everyone I had to. So that's it for this week's episode. And as always, if you enjoy my analysis, especially of the opening scene and the outro, smash that thumbs up and share this episode with one friend. Spread the algorithms, but also spread the love of this masterpiece category of one of a show. And last thing, can you check your subscribe button for me? Are you subscribed? Because we have kickstarted Death Note, a highly anticipated and recommended classic and masterpiece of its own, and Vinland Saga, 86, and other great shows that's on the list. So make sure you're subscribed to catch the next series. And as always, till next time, peace.